There we go, guys. Very, very warm welcome. I'm just going to turn this down. I'm getting an echo. Right, that should be okay there. Okay. Got everything on 2 screens tonight. So very, very warm welcome. We are Sunday the 2nd of April 23. I was supposed to do this live stream on the last Sunday of every month. However, I had a family visiting on Sunday of last week and we were picking people up from the airport. So apologies for being a week late because I did promise to try and work this on to the last Sunday of the month. Anyway, without further ado, let us get on. So this is tutorial 3. If you have a little look back, I made a note of the dates. If you have a little look in the description box below, there's a link to a playlist. And it's got tutorial 1 from the 19th of April last year, 2022, and tutorial 2, which was the 3rd of July, 2022. So it's been a while. So we're really on beginners tutorial number 3 for the solo jive. So if you do find that this video, when you're watching at some point in the future and you think, oh, that's a little bit quick, please go back onto below and you will find tutorials 1 and 2 where I break things down a lot slower and so on. There's also a link to some of the pre-recorded jive practice routines for beginners. Again, that's further below in the description, and that has short summaries of little practice from some of my live Zoom classes that we have done over the last 2 or 3 years. As usual, health and safety first. Make sure you have a little area clear. Doesn't have to be as big as mine. This is just a room that I use for recording and broadcasting. So as long as you've moved the coffee table out of the way, you're not going to bump into any walls or shelves, children or pets. Make sure you've got some appropriate footwear on. Okay, you don't have to have dance shoes on. You just need to have something on that is sensible for your floor at home. Make sure it's not too slippy and make sure it's not too grippy. Okay, so just be aware of your footwear. Music tonight, because we are live on YouTube, as always, is royalty-free music that doesn't get me in any licensing trouble, so it may sound a little bit less exciting, but again, if you look in the description below, you will see a link to my Spotify Jive playlist, and then many, many other people would play this on Spotify and other players, which will give you lots and lots of jive music, which is super, super cool. We can't use it live on YouTube because we'll get a horrible strike and we don't want that. So without further ado, I'm going to put one of the warm-up tracks on. We're going to dance straight through all the warm-up steps that I had included in the tutorial 1 and 2, the ones I mentioned before on the playlist. So let's start. Put my cup of tea down. Let me just check that screen there. We look a little bit wonky. Why does the camera look a little bit wonky? There we go. Hold on a second. It looks a little bit wonky to me. There. Is that a bit better? Okay. Maybe I'm just going to close this curtain. Time of night. Beauty of live streams. Until you go live, you can't actually see what it's going to look like live. Oh, that's a little bit better, I think. Let's just pop that down there. Okay. So, let us put some music on and follow along. Okay, right foot, tap in. Little tap steps. Shoulder back and relax, good posture. Now, toe heel rocks. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Little look to the sides. Tap it in front. Toe heel rocks. going to walk, 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 back, rock. I'm going to turn around in a minute, so don't worry. Back, rock, walk, 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 back, rock, walk, 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 back, rock. Let's go this way. Side. If you don't have room to do two, just do one each way. Little taps. Now face one corner, pull the tummies in and lean it back. Twist it over. So heel rocks. Walking. Back, rock on the opposite foot now. We tap. Face the corner, sit down on your knee. Okay, next song we're going to do some little flicks up in the air, but we're still not bouncing off the floor because we're not warm enough yet. Now remember, point the toe, flick from the knee. To the corners. Tap step. Corner flicks. Rock out. Single flicks. We slide. We tap. Flick it in the air. Gently from the knee. Into the corners. We slide. Okay, let's basic counts. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Walk, walk, quick, quick. Kick in. Corners. We slide. Jazz hands if you want. Okay, let's add on 8-count basic little refresher. Back, rock, triple step. Back, rock, triple step. Because we're dancing solo, we're going to do one on the right, one on the left. If we were dancing with a partner, then the leader would always be going back rock on the left and the follower would be going back rock on the right. But to make it nice and even, so that anyone watching this, whether you're normally a leader or follower, whether you've never danced with anyone in your life and you're just doing this for fun and fitness, this is nice and easy. You can copy it directly from the back. So, back, rock, triple step, back, rock, triple step. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when I shout 8 count basic, that's what we're going to do. Now, if I shout 6 count basic and tell you whether I'm going on my right or my left, it will be this. 1 back rock, 1 triple step, and a second triple step. Back, rock, triple step, back, rock, triple step, triple step. So that's a basic on my right and a basic on my left. Same thing, opposite way around. Back, step, triple step, triple step. Back, rock, triple step, back, rock, triple step, triple step. Like I said, if you're finding this a little bit too quick and you think I'm going too fast, it's because this is tutorial number 3. So you want to look back through the playlist and have a little look at tutorials 1 and 2 where I go much slower, okay? So I'm assuming that you guys have done some of this before, okay? So that's why I'm going a little bit faster, okay? So we're going to do the 8 count basic. We're going to do some flicks, some kicks, and we're going to do some of the 6 count basics, but we're going to put the music on straight away, okay? Let's go back to the first song. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 8 count. Now I'm going to do 8 count and stay over here. Left foot. In front, left foot. Basic 6. Two more sets. 8 counts. Half the 8 counts. Right foot 6 counts. Flicks in front. Basic 8 counts. Flick in. has brought those back to mind a little bit quicker. So I'm conscious that I really want to push on today. So we've got our 8 count, we've got our 6 count, we've got our single flips. We need to do our ball change step. So this appears in many of our dances, but a lot in the jive. So I'm going to do a little back, out, replace. Back, out, replace. Back, out, replace. Back, out, replace. Okay, so I'm going to go 1 and 2, 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 1 and 2. These are your sailors. We do put a little bit more rotation on there once we get the hang of it. But we don't need to worry about that too much. Just get the back and cross, that's what we need. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Keep it nice and tight. Cross that foot very close behind, underneath your bottom. You don't want a massive step backwards. So when I do this, I go here, just underneath. Back, rotate, sit down. Back, rotate, sit down. So I'm pretty much staying on the spot. Okay, mind your knees if you're on a floor that's a little bit grippy or your shoes are grippy. Try not to twist with the knee and a little weight into that foot. Okay, so you don't want to get stuck on the floor and twist the knee, just a health and safety warning there. Okay, so they're my back sailors. Now, I'm going to put a couple of flicks in between, and it will look like this. Corner flick, back, and change. Corner flick, back, and change. Notice that when I'm doing these, I haven't got the same amount of rotations as when I'm just doing sailors one after the other. So when I'm doing sailor, 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 you've got rotation to the corners. But on this one, 2 flicks to the front and just crossing behind, get the back ball changing. There's not much rotation on this. And don't forget, we have our jive flick retraction. So I'll go sideways on, flick and retract, okay? We're flicking from the knee. We don't just put it down. We flick and retract, flick and retract. It's a little bit more advanced. That's something you can work up to, but I'm not just sort of footballers kicking here, okay? That's me actually flicking from the quite an unhealthy position on the knee. I can really feel the force of my leg pushing into the air and then sort of taking the knee with it. That's not good, okay? So here, this is controlled and it's light, okay? So it's the thigh muscles that are working. I'm not putting a full force behind my kneecap with a big old flick, okay? So just watch on that. So let's do that from the right foot. Flick, flick, back and change. Flick, flick, back and change. Now when we're doing flicks to each corner, we tend to work with the closing of the legs first. Now what do I mean by that? I'm standing here. If I want to flick with my right foot, I tend not to flick out to the side and have an open leg first. I tend to flick across, close the thighs. Then the second kick is open. Not always, depends on the choreography, but majority of the time, if I'm just doing the 2 flicks to the corner and the back will change, that's what we're going to do. Flick, flick, back and change. Flick, flick, back and change. Please excuse me for my cup of tea. I have just been teaching classes in the studio all the way from 9 a.m. until about 6:30. And then we rush home. It takes us about an hour to get home. I literally ran through the door at 25 to 8, got all the equipment on, get everything ready, literally cup of tea in hand and go live. So it's been a very long day today, so I've been talking all day. I have to be careful not to lose the voice when I'm doing classes from 9 till 6 all day. And then more straight onto YouTube. But we love it, that's why we do it. So let us go from the 8 count basic. Let's put a little pattern together so we can practice this. I'm going to do the 8 count basic 4 times. Back and triple step, back and triple step. We're going to do that 4 times. That means 1 each way. There's an 8 count. This is the 3rd set. This is the 4th set. Now the corner flicks. Flick, flick, back and change. 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 Stay with me. Okay, single flicks to the front. Flick, flick, flick. Now, rotation of the body. I'm going to face the camera. I'm sitting down into the standing leg, and the leg that I'm pointing and flicking in front, I'm turning the arch up to the ceiling just a little bit. You see that? And then it comes back down. I sit on the standing leg, arch of the pointed leg to the ceiling. So you get a little twist and twist and twist and twist. I'm going to go sideways on so you can see that. There and there and there. Okay? Hands don't need to be fancy, but when they're here, you've got a little bit more opportunity to stay balanced. If you're practicing with your hands down here, firstly, it doesn't look very pretty, but it's harder to balance. So just keep them up, about here, just give the armpits a little room to breathe, we'll be fine. Okay, so we've got 4 8 counts, we've got 4 corner flicks with the back ball change, and then we're going to sit, 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 and sit. Just 4, okay? Just 4 of those, okay? Now we're going to do a little chassis step, and I'm going to go 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. So when we're dancing solo jive, we're essentially working with the back rock step, the chassis step or the triple step, call it what you wish, single flicks and double flicks, double using the same leg twice. Essentially, the kicks and flicks and footwork, which is what we're doing on our own without a partner, is built up of those 4 building blocks, plus spins. Okay, we're not going to do the spins today, but all the kicks, the flicks, the chassis, the double flicks, back rocks, in lots and lots and lots of combinations. You've got so many combinations, and that is what we're doing. Okay? So let's take it all the way through. We're going to do 4 of the back 8 count. 1. Do the second one. Third one coming up. 4th one. 2 corner flicks and a back and change. Now singles to the front for 4. And now I'm going to go chassis across, flick, flick. Okay, and put that leg down. Let's just do those last 2 with the count. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. A little bit tricky that last sort of set of steps. Should we do that once more? Let's do that once more. Here we go. Single flicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. Let's put that whole thing together with the music. I'll call it out. 4 8 counts, 4 of the double corners with the backward changes, 4 flicks to the front, single flicks, and then the little chassis and double flick. I will just call these all out. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 8 counts. Second one. Third one. 4th one. Corner flicks. Back will change. Again. Last one. Single flicks to the front. Now chassis across. Start again. Corner flick and back will change. 4 more. Single flicks. Chassis. Start over. All the flicks. Last two coming up. Single flicks to the front. Shall we add on a little bit more? Why not? Okay, now I've just finished with that double flick to the front. Okay, flick and a flick. And before I put that leg down, I'm going to reuse it. So it's going to finish those two flicks, and now it's going to do toe heel crosses. These are also done with our partner when we dance this jive in the ballroom. Just going to adapt them slightly so we can make it easier whilst we're solo dancing. But I'm going to go toe, heel, cross, toe, heel, cross. I believe we did these in the previous tutorial. That was tutorial 2 from July of last year. Again, link below in the playlist. 2, heel, cross, toe, heel, cross. Let's count what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get the idea? Okay. Now, when we finish these, you're going to hear a little phrase in the music where we're going to hold the count. Okay? So we're going to be doing this from a back rock. Okay? And we're going to reuse that leg. So it's just gone flick, flick, and I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've used a count of 8, then a count of 6. I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to head on. So I'm going to do a little syncopation. Now, syncopation means to hold the count and hold my move until the very last moment, either just before a beat or just after a beat. So I'm kind of extending that half count, and I'm coming in right at the end, just before I run out of time. Okay? So take a look. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hold, and 8. And when I say and, this is not just 7.5. This is about 7 3/4 and a little bit more, and it is just a fraction before the 8. Okay? So we're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 7. Last minute. Tea-time. And 8. That's going to be. Okay? So we're going to add that on, and we're going to pop that on the end. Now, just before I recap over the whole routine, I'm going to add one more step on. So we've done this little syncopation, tea-time. We are going to chassis and slide. Chassis, slide. Okay? And then I'm going to do that little tea-time again. That little syncopation, tea-time. Chassis, slide, tea-time. Okay? Now, standard count without holding it at this point, after I've done the 8, would be 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. What does that look like or remind you of? I'll do that again. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. It is our 8 count basic, but instead of starting as we did in the beginning with back, rock, and then the chassis afterwards, I'm starting with the chassis first and the back rock second. So physical steps on the floor, still the same, but the order in which I started them swapped around. So I'm going to start with the chassis, add the back rock, second chassis, back rock. So if I didn't put any syncopation in, and just stuck with the solid beats, that's what we'd be doing. But we want to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to go 1 and 2, hold the count of 3 as though it disappeared, and at the last minute, and 4. So I'm like 3 and 3/4 and a little bit more, just before the 4 comes in, the and, diddy, okay, ti-time. So I'm going to go 1 and 2, hold 3 and 4, 5 and 6, hold 7 and 8. Okay, there's the tricky part. We're going to take it from the back rock and the toe heel. Okay, so we've got 3 sets of 8 to do here. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 7, ti-tam. 1 and 2, hold 3 and 4. 5 and 6, hold 7 and 8. Okay, now I'm going to do that again, and I'm just purely going to call the numbers, and I'm not going to slow down, I'm not going to pause anywhere that I shouldn't. I'm just going to keep the numbers going. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2 and 4, 5 and 6 and 8. It's exciting, isn't it? Shall we do it? Whole routine from the top. Now you start to see me make these hand signals, and the more that you see videos in my channel, whole thing, whole circle, from the top of my head. Okay, it just helps some of the people in my classes, especially on Zoom, everyone's hard of hearing and so on. It just helps people see what's going on in the class. And also when I'm teaching big classes in the studio with Ballroom, and there's people way at the back and they can't always hear me. Okay, so lots of hand signals for you. Okay, anyone in the chat? Okay, nobody in the chat. So it's quite interesting, right? So I put these live streams up about a month ago. Make sure that everyone can see there's a live stream coming up, and very rare that there's actually more than or anyone or 1 or 2 people on live at the time. So I'm talking to the camera, then you guys are going to watch this at some point in the future, and you're going to be like, oh, she's just talking to the camera, there's no one on live. But I found, I put them out live. It would be great if anyone was watching live and can ask me questions in the chat. Maybe in the future when the channel is much bigger, that will be the case. Because I like to give people feedback, answer the questions, and that's great in the chat. But if you're watching this at some point in the future and you happen to stumble across this video, put a comment in, because YouTube does tell me, it sends me a little message to say that someone's left me a comment on a video. So if that comment is a question, I can come back to you at some point once I get a notification to say in the future that somebody has made a comment on this. So don't be frightened to put a comment if you're watching this on the recording. And if you ever stumble across my live videos and you're brave enough, just pop a question in the chat. Nobody can see you. It's not like being on Zoom where you can actually have like two-way video, okay? It's just me dancing around in front of you. Let's put the whole thing together from the top. We've got 8 count basic. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Next one. Double corner flicks. Flick, flick, back, boot change. I'm just going to do 4 of these now that the routine is a bit longer. Single flicks to the front. 4 of these. Now we've got chassis step and a flick, flick. Chassis step and a flick, flick. Again. There's 4. You see where I'm going with the 4? 4 of everything, and that's going to make it nice and easy for us to remember until we get to the toe heel section. So back, rock, toe, heel, cross, toe, heel, cross, toe, heel, cross, toe, heel, cross. There is 4 of those. T-tum, chassis slide, hold, T-tum, chassis slide, hold, T-tum, chassis slide, hold, T-tum, and chassis slide, hold, T-tum. I've gone up to 4 of everything, okay, and that's going to make it easier for me to remember and easier for you to follow. If I remember it more easily, I call it quicker, and then you guys can follow it more easily. And don't forget, you guys are watching this on the YouTube playback. In the future, you have the little cog button where you can slow the playback down. Slow me down, and if you need to, watch it at 3/4 speed. Great function on YouTube. Stop, rewind, go over the bits that you need to. How are we doing for time? I've got to 5 minutes, okay? So we do this with the music. Let's do it with the music. Okay. Slow music first, then the last song I've got is a bit faster. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 8 count basic. One more. Corner flicks. Single flicks to the front. Chassis double flip. And again. Back rock. Toe, heel, swivel. Number 3. Woo! Again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 8 counts. Flicking corners. Single flicks to the front. Chassis double flip. 2 more. Toe heel. Twist and swivel. Use your core. Woo. Once more to this speed. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and corner flips. Singles. Chassis double. But that is too easy because it's done to the medium speed music. The last song I'm going to do is going to be normal speed. Well, as close to normal speed as I can get it, given that this is a royalty-free track. Oh, wrong song. I've got a fast one, haven't I? 5, 6, 7. Corner flicks. Single flips. Chassis. Back rock. Do it once more. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Once more. Corners. Singles. Back rock, toe heel. So we're going to have to call it a day there. We're going to do our little cool down. We're running out of time. Oh, let's work on our cool down. Okay, follow along and let me chat to us. Shoulders. Ooh. Now, if you're wearing heels, preferably take them off. We want to put the legs together. Bend the knees. Curve that spine. Big C shape. Push down to the floor. Jive can be tough on our lower back. Now, hands on thighs, chin up, promise to the floor, arch the back. Now roll through those movements. There we go. And here. Okay, right left foot, small plie. Back is straight. Your floor. Side bend. Come back. Plie and bend. And again. Other side. Hold it down. Bend it over. Plie and reach. Okay, one foot's in front of the other, right in front of the left. Flat back, forwards bend. Coming up, arm roll. Hands to the ceiling. Straighten those legs. And again, arm up. Flat back, forwards bend. To the floor. Unroll. Arch. Push those shoulders together behind you. Slight wide stance. Pointing out 90 degrees to the corners. Little hamstring stretch. Make sure this knee doesn't go past this toe. Ideally, you want to be in flat shoes at this point. I haven't taken my shoes off because I have a lot of class to do. But ideally, you want to take them off. Oh, give everything a wiggle. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. I know nobody was on with me live, but hopefully someone in the future will be watching this and will get something out of it. This was tutorial 3. We went a little bit faster. Tutorials 1 and 2 are also in the playlist, linked below in the description. And when we get to tutorial 4, we'll add on lots more steps. And I have noticed that there seems to be a little bit more popular request for the jive and the salsa on the YouTube live tutorials. So I think there'll be a little bit more of them, unless I get any comments or messages from anyone saying that they would prefer another dance style. But the salsa and the jive seem to be pretty popular, I've noticed in the analytics. So thank you so much for supporting me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, helps me grow the channel, tells YouTube that you like what I'm putting out, and then hopefully they will publish it to more people. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.